Once again, welcome back and good morning. It's still Daybreak Africa, reaching here from our studios in Ondo City. I am Ezekiel Ogar. This morning we'll be talking on state policing in Nigeria, impact of empowering local law enforcement. And with us via Skype is Honorable Adelo Shoye Maxwell. Welcome on Daybreak Africa.
Well, thank you, President.
A very good morning to you, Maxwell. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm very good.
All right. Going straight to the topic of the day, talking about state policing. If you ask me, I would say it's a situation, let me say a topic that has been on the table for a very long time, that we have not really seen anything coming positive about it to date. Now, if I'll be asking you, why are we just getting serious about state policing, especially having in mind the Nigeria insecurity issues of the present days, why are we just getting serious about state policing now?
Well, I think first and foremost, while we're getting the situation of the security situation, like you said, didn't just start deteriorating. The security of the country has been going down has been terrible for like 12 years. But apparently, we now have a president in the president of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu who has the political will, to do the right thing. So that's why we're having the conversation right now, I guess. Because the conversation is more than 10, 12 years old, if you ask me.
So, like I was saying, many, including a human rights lawyer, Femi Falana, has warned that some state governor will use this state police as a means of oppression, pressing their opposition. Do you share the same view or sentiments?
I want to agree because, there's for every situation there are pros, there are cons, So that's one of the possible cons of having state police. But at the same time, I'm an incredible optimist in the project Nigeria. And I believe that if the system is properly regulated, we'll be able to checkmate the abuse of state police by the governors some of them who want to turn themselves to emperors. That's what Falana said. But if the system is well regulated, abuse will be reduced. But if the system is let to fly, people will take advantage and the abuse is inevitable.
When you say regulated, how do you mean regulated?
What I'm saying is that if the state policing is properly regulated, this is my idea of state policing. State policing and community policing should be for the community. It should not just be solely, the control should not solely lie with the government. The situation where we have the traditional institution, we have the religious institution, we have the civil society, we have the body, like the police regulatory commission, in charge of the state police, that comprises of traditional rulers, that comprises of civil society, religious leaders, traditional institutions. We ought to agree. Those ones will have the control. In that way, the control will not solely be with the governor. All I mean is that only the governor does not solely appoint, does not solely determine. You understand? So if it's that way, if the control is not with the governor will not be able to abuse it. But if you solely give the financing and the control to the governor, it would abuse it. So most of the governors will abuse it. So that's why I said about the control. So it's about the regulation. If it's not properly regulated, we will be unleashing on that monster.
In as much as we are trying not to allow it to be a sole management thing, it was talked about having it in the hands of so many people. Don't you think at the end of the day we are going to have a lot of clash of interest, mostly when human beings are in a situation like that, everybody will do have their own ideology, how they want to run it, and at the end of the day, clash of interest might possibly come up. Don't you think so?
No, the clash of interest it will not be a major issue here, I doubt, because no matter what, we are being built from different societies, like from different institutions to come together. They are members, these are the core stakeholders of the community. For instance, now you're talking about state policing in Ondo. You have the Oshema, who is National Council, you have the Olojas there, you have the Chief Imam, you have the Khan, you have the civil society, you have the teachers, you have everybody. And when everybody comes together, we'll put that together. So that one will no longer, it will not be clash of interest. Even if we agree to disagree, everybody will come together and at least sense will prevail. Reasoning will prevail. Unlike when you have a situation where the power is solely with one person. The person can tend to abuse it. Favoritism will play out. But it's possible the likelihood that there will be a compromise towards positive development is higher. If the group of people come together than when it's solely the responsibility of one person. That's my opinion.
All right. Sorry, Ezekiel. I want to really ask this fast so it won't go away. We're still talking about state policing here, and I want to believe that even the normal federal government police and the every other forces, we still have issues of fund, which has really been an issue on ground. Now, talking about state policing, it should be everybody's business when we talk about insecurity. Now, we have issues of fund. How are we going to be able to do things effectively in the respect of state policing when it comes to fund issues?
Well, thank you. Like I said, a lot of us will agree that even the Nigerian police force is underfunded. We will agree, you understand. But where we can get it right is, the on the issue of state policing, there is extra fund for subsidy removal. Then the well-meaning Nigerians can also donate. Like some of them have 1 billion naira to Lagos State security trust fund. So more states should create a security trust fund. And also, the police in the United States do generate funds. Apart from, I'm not talking about standing on the road to be collecting pensions, it's collecting, so no collecting pensions again, collecting money. You understand? But I think they can be creative and get funding. But what I'm saying in essence is that if the funding is not solely on the government, the burden is not solely on the government, private individuals, everybody can get involved in financing the structure of the police. So I think funding should not be a major issue. Because after all, here in southwest Nigeria, we have been able to come up with Amotekun, and Amotekun has been largely successful, and we have been able to fund them. So why can't we? The governors get good amount of money, almost a billion. Most of them get almost a billion. Some might be over a billion as security votes. So why not? Why not we commit those resources to state policing? So I don't think funding should be
funds. You made it sound as if the funding is one more like work on the park. I don't think it's really work on the park because we have.
No, if you are being sincere, that's the point. See, if you are being sincere in this country, we are being sincere, and people are going to do the right thing. Funding should not be the major challenge. So our police might be underfunded, but funding should not be the reason why it will not roll, why it will not work. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It will not be the reason why they are not effective. Amotekun cannot say Amotekun is not successful.
No, sorry, I want to come in here. You said if we are going to be realistic, we are going to be sincere. That is the problem. Sincerity, accountability, transparency. These are the problem. Now, on paper, we said the Amotekun are being funded. They are doing very well. But can you really tell me any Amotekun person that is earning a very good amount for that is going to be able to replicate their life that they put on the line, especially when even the Nigerian police are being underfunded? This is one thing that is supposed to be a very lucrative place for people to work. But at this moment, most of them cannot even boast of a very good pay to satisfy them. In spite, they put their life on the line. And you say they are being or they are doing well. They are not really doing well, if you will agree with me.
Well, I won't agree with you, they are not doing it. Because number one, for security, working as a police, working as a security person, as a police officer, joining the police is not just about, when you engage soldiers, for instance, when you talk to those guys, you realize that this is beyond money. I'm not saying they should not be paid what they are doing. I'm not saying they're not paid what they are doing. Most of these guys who take up this job want to sell. A lot of this is in defense of their fatherland. So they're not really motivated by money per se. So, but I'm not saying they should not be well funded. I'm not saying they are underfunded, but most of these guys want to do the job. Most of these guys take up this job because I've seen a soldier who was injured in Southeast, and the guy was, and I was like, he said you should rest. No, they want to recover from going back. That and those guys, those ones injuring him, no, he will not do that. What there was over in Kogi recently, it took like 2-3 soldiers I think about 2 soldiers or so to halt the whole operation of more than 30 men. So these guys are motivated. So the government on their part need to get serious and do the right thing. So if the successive government at different levels, at federal, state, and local level, are left with responsibilities, taking care of these gallant men who put their life on the line, Taking care of them should not be a problem. And like I said, the new minimum wage is coming. Things are inflation is high, things are hard right now. But I believe things will get better soon. And people will be getting paid what they are due. And I know the police salary has been reviewed. And their family salaries are being reviewed regularly. So whatever it is, they are not so badly paid as we look at it. But there's no amount that you can be paid for to put your life that will watch your life. But I'm trying to say in essence is that they can be paid better for what they do, but don't make it look like they are not being paid at all.
Let's talk a little about checks and balances. You said something that actually tend to pique my interest, Mike. You spoke about sincerity and transparency. And with our nation, we know an institution that actually works with checks and balances. It's quite a challenge for us. Now, you spoke about regulations for the state governors to actually help, regulate the use of this power they are expected to have, if at all it's been implemented. Now, don't you think for a country would tend to have a challenge with proper checks and balances? The issue of regulation might not really hold water or matter at all.
Well, we will not just assume that will be the issue. That's why I said that.
I think we have the right to assume every possibility, not just.
Let's deviate from business as usual. How do they do state police where it works? What is the model where the state police work? Let's talk about the United States, where they have the federal police, they have the state police, they have the community police, the county police and all that. How do they work? The way they work is that the power to, for instance, the power to elect the sheriff, who is the local police, will be voted for by the people. So the power is not as if it's not one guy sitting in one corner, appointing whoever he likes. So the community look like, okay, this guy should wear that police, they will vote for him. Well, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm looking for reforms that will allow for proper regulation. If those things are put in place, it will be difficult for it not to work. For instance, we are in Ondo now. If we are doing community police, we know the character, we know the quality, we know the caliber of people who should wear the police. We know people who have integrity. We know people who family used to still go to and still, for instance. So you don't allow those ones to your police. You understand? But so when the community and the community policing and the state, when they are integral part of the whole arrangement and it's part of the regulatory mechanism, it will work. But if they are not properly regulated, we will be unleashing another monster. So that regulation is what we should focus on. And how do we get the regulation to work? Is by allowing the visual or the real people, for instance, the real people to get involved in the regulation. That way it will work.
Okay, earlier I said something.
If you leave it to the political class or the government class or the politically biased people alone, they will see the same problem.
Now,
that is what I think.
In as much as we want to understand, we believe in the project of Nigeria going to work, we cannot run away from reality, which are the things that you've said. You made mention of a lot of things, but I tried to follow up everything you've been saying, but there are a lot of if. This spells out uncertainty.
Total uncertainty.
We are not sure if. Now, you might possibly say you know this person because of the antecedent of whatever they might have done before, and they are going to do well. It's a if they are going to do well. It's a if they might not do well. Now, we are not sure with that. We want to go back to it. We have a lot of issues on state policing for a very long time. Good luck, Jonathan, during this time. He brought a committee. He did something that was about 2012, 13, 14 about state policing. But General Muhammad Buhari came on board, never did anything, especially with the situation of Nigeria's security deteriorating on a daily. Nothing was done. Thank God, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been on board now. It's about visiting state policing. But it's beyond you trying to do it. It's about you trying to do it effectively and following up the right ways it's supposed to be. But I made mention of something that you've been saying, if. Now, we have problems on ground also. You said people mismanaging power is one issue. We do also have the problem of fund, which you also made mention of. Outside these two, can you please tell us things that are possibly going to emanate from state policing that might come on the negative and how we are going to be able to caution them?
Well, I don't like saying a negative, but of course that is two sides. So pros and cons. We have talked about the abuse of power, which is inevitable when you're not properly regulated. We have talked about funding and that challenge. Then I think another problem, these are the two major issues. But I think another problem is then now then the recruitment process can be another issue. The recruitment process, who and who gets there. You understand? So who and who is involved? This could be another issue. Then the issue of no, there are those issues. Those issues of even in states, even in the states, there are different. There are still states where they have different tribes. So there still is a tribal issues that will come up. But above all, I think proper regulation will solve whatever issues can come.
Now,
proper regulation and participation of everybody will solve any problem that come.
You have been making mention of you have been talking about. Sorry, Maxwell. You'll be talking about proper regulation. Now, there is something I really even need to ask you before we even go further into this discussion. We are in a country where we feel like insecurity is the order of the day, and we are looking for ways to conquer that. But now, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you even think Nigeria security system understand what it entails to give an effective and proper security measures to caution insecurity and insurgency, especially where we have situations of mass adoption of people and a lot of things happening, and we do not have proper data to even track these past people that are doing this evil perpetration?
I think they're not giving the security apparatus enough credit for the job they are doing, because for every successful case of adoption or mass adoption, there have been hundreds that were foiled. And these challenges are not peculiar to us. And so far, since New Ribado came on board, I'm happy. We mentioned it earlier. Since New Ribado came on board, it has been fantastic. They've been taking out those bandits one after the other. They've been taking them out. They've been inciting and surrounding them. They've been doing their job. So, to the best of my ability, I think they are doing fine. I think the Nigerian police well motivated, fantastic people. I remember there's a statement credited to Gaddafi, whether it's true, it's that if you have the strength of Nigerian army, Nigerian police, you go to war with the United States. So I think the Nigerian police have the capabilities, the manpower, and the capacity to combat these challenges. And I think they are doing a tremendous job, but they can do better.
It's quite a well. Many people actually tend to beg to differ what you just saying.
Because we need to be patriotic, and we need to look inward and see beyond the
Patriotism is one thing, reality is another. But that does not mean when we say reality, we shouldn't speak about it. Now, talking about it has been fantastic that you said earlier. I don't know, Ezekiel, if you have something about it, because it makes it sound like things have been going on, because on my own part, I feel like there's not been a lot of information about the retrieval of people, getting enough information of how it had been happening. Was it a bargain? Was it an arrest? Was there any banter? What really happened? How did we get these people out of the coven of these of criminals or bandits? We are not getting those information. So I don't know if you have the information at your own fingertip, if you can enlighten us about it.
Well, about these security issues need high level of clearance. But if you are talking about the adopted school girls, I mean maybe they got information, they moved in on them. A lot of people were questioning the choice of the body. But if you look at the way it moves, you understand the choice of the body. What the value has been doing is have been cutting the source of the funding to terrorism. So when you go after their funding, then you render them powerless. Recently they listed some people, some PDCs and some organizations who are part of funding terrorism. Part of the reason why they calm down on banners, So when you do all those things and you cut down their funding, these guys will not be able to do much. anymore. So that is what they have been doing. So on this issue of this information I got was that, after they cut off their funding, they were surrounded, and they knew that if they did not give up, they will be annihilated. So then on information gathering, the issue of that's what community police comes in. These criminals are people we know. Sorry, are people they know. For instance, now, if there is criminal activity going on in this locality, we will know, like I said earlier, that we know people's families will still do that. No. So if there are people who have tendency to steal, they will know. If there are people who are bandits, the community people will know. So what they need to do is trust the police, trust the military, trust special apparatus with the right information. They will get them to where they are. So that's what happens. It's a simple play out.
I think one of
and contrary to what we done, maybe they negotiated, but I don't think, well, the government has been clear that they were not to pay any ransom.
So you were talking about the Nigerian police opting not to pay ransom, but the government not paying ransom simply doesn't mean the parents won't pay the ransom. But probably that will be talk for just another day. Now, while we're talking, you spoke about the need for effectiveness when it comes to our police first. You spoke about the need to equip probably the capacity of even our policemen and women. We have over 200 million citizens, and I just can't really start numbering the police we have on ground. We just can't start.
300,000 personnel.
So with all due respect,
so many of them are attached to VIPs.
I'm glad you're saying that.
So we know for a fact it's way below par, just too much below par. Now this administration has been one that has been questioned when it comes to proper implementation. We question implementation of the subsidy, we question implementation of the of tariff. We question this particular implementation right now. Now the thing is, instead of actually focusing on the need to decentralize the police system, why don't we focus on working on the effectiveness and the efficiency of the police, and maybe when we are done with this, we will start talking about proper decentralization.
But that's another school of thought that makes sense, makes plenty sense. If the police, if we raise the number of Nigerian police force like 1 million, and they are more effective, situation our citizens will improve. Rather than, that's a very correct thought. But I also believe that nothing beats community policing. You don't bring in somebody from Zamfara to Ondo and you expect the person to effectively do the police work. So I think they should increase the strength of the federal police. They should still stay. They should strengthen Mopo by police force, equipped enough like SWAT. Even in the United States, they have the PD, they have the Metro, they have the federal police, they have all sorts of police. So we can still have those guys. Everybody doing their job. So, but the need for community police, for you to know your neighbor, know what is going on. I know the people security is an illusion. People believe that this place is secure. That's why they assume that it is secure. It's not as if people don't. It's not as if, for instance, even in the West, where everybody is running to take everything is. It's not as if kidnapping does not occur. It's not as if terrible crime does not occur. People have the illusion that no, this is a police contest, police everywhere. In my state now, okay, let me not go into that. Let me not talk about security. Let me not talk about that, just anything like that. But security is an illusion. So if people believe that somewhere is secure, it is secure. So if somebody is, for instance, a thief or a criminal element and is around and that hey, you are here again, Abi. If anything is lost around there, you don't come again. No. You are in town now, we know you people. If anything goes missing, we know we'll come and find you. So, I don't cast. You understand? So that is my opinion. So we cannot do without community police. We need it.
So don't you think this blunt that has actually been going on in this present administration tends to really mount as a very big challenge? The blunder of not really having a proper visibility study, because you just agree with me that what I just said, it makes sense, talking about making them more effective and efficient for talking about decentralization. Now, in the same administration, we have an issue where we talk about cutting down costs, and yet we see billions apportioned to our senators and House of Rep, for SUVs here and there. In this administration, from the beginning, we have.
Are they supposed to clarify?
And this administration, from the very onset, we had the issue of fuel subsidy removal without really understanding it, and at some point it tends to hit the citizens real hard. Now, this blunder amongst others, don't you think it tends to question the intentionality of this present administration?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you come again?
I asked if challenges as this what I call blunder, tends to actually question the intentionality of this present administration.
No, I don't see. I'm sorry, I don't see any blunders. All I see is a government who is eager to make things work, and the government who is passionate about the people. And most of the time, if the policy does not go right, they will make corrections. The people making these decisions are human. They are not ghosts.
So I was talking about the policy, which you made mention, you did agree that they are humans, and a lot of times the policy might not work. They will have to go back to refix it. Are you with me?
No.
Now, this is the situation of you dealing with the lives, the future, the security, the lives and property of over 200 million people. I'm very sure when you were about to announce your ministers, you are about to announce the people that are going to work with you on your cabinet. You did say you are going to bring in technocrats, people that have the technical know-how to navigate and do things properly. So are we going to keep working on trial and error that might possibly affect the lives of the citizens and their properties, the business of the country, and possibly bring it to a cripple before we keep doing it and we say, okay, we are going to correct it. Let's see if it's going to work. Is it a trial and error thing? Or do we know what we are doing?
No, I think you are misunderstanding me.
Well, what you just said is if it doesn't work, they have to go back and fix it again.
No, I'm not saying that it's normal. The president said that we make let me quote the president said we make mistakes, that we are going to make mistakes, we will correct ourselves. But we can not fail, but it will not be for lack of, if we fail, it will not be for lack of trying. Now, if we're talking, it's not about trying and error. The president is an accountant, the president is a politician, the president has been governor of Lagos. No, the president rode on the back of his excellent performance as governor of Lagos. And successive performance as governor of Lagos. And that's why the Lagos model, the president is credited as being the father of modern Lagos. So the president came up with a team. The CBN is headed by a seasoned banker and a financial group.
I'm sorry, Mr. Maxwell. I'm sorry, Maxwell. What I am questioning here is level of efficiency, not about his antecedent, not about how he helped Lagos, not about the blueprint. That was years ago. This is Nigeria. We are talking about the level of efficiency of policies being enacted into law. This is what we are questioning.
The policies are working. I don't give you an answer. I was talking about the floating of Naira. We are talking about first country. So if you say the policies are not working, then I don't understand. But what I'm concerned, like I said, the policies are working. The policies are working. The policies are working. I have not seen the president go back on any of the major policies. They have not gone back on first subsidy. They have not gone back on student loan. They have not gone back on floating of the Naira.
So does that make them right? Does that make every of those policies right? Because he hasn't gone back on them.
Because the policy is what we need at this point, and it is his responsibility to take those decisions, not you, not me. He is the president. The boss stop at his table. So he's the one to determine what is best and what is not. And we have his team, and the 8.7 million Nigerians voted for him. They trusted him that
out of 200 million. Does that justify the number?
Yeah,
does that justify his decisions?
Well, that election is about 200 million voters voted. We have about 90 million registered voters, and altogether, the people who voted, if I am wrong, 8, 7, 6, are less than 25 million. So that's a discussion for another day. But the baseline is that people who went to vote, about less than 25 million Nigerians who went to vote, about 8.7 million of them, majority of them, decided to vote for him. About 6% of the total voters decided to vote for him, giving the highest number of votes. So right. He just wants to with the votes. So
away from that, Maxwell. Now let's talk about the Nigerian Constitution. If we are going to look into the state policing situation, we have to talk about Nigerian Constitution. Yes. Now, it's a situation of is either we have to refix some things in the Constitution or we alter the Constitution. This is a very big question that most people feel like the state policing might not see the light of the day. Though some 16 governors have said, yes, we want it, but we've not gotten the reply of some 20 governors. This is still on the limbo. We don't really know what is going to happen in the next 24 hours, in the next few weeks. But right now, looking into the constitution of Nigeria and looking at, okay, we are going to see it, the House has to pass this bill and that and that. Do you think things are going to be done in the right way? And if they are going to be done in the right way, how do they go about it? You're also having in mind how the constitution works as at this moment.
Yeah, the constitution says that there shall be a Nigerian police force and there shall be no other police. It's clear. I don't know the section, but maybe section 216 or something, I don't know. It's clear on that. So for them to be state president of the constitutional review, now 16 governors have given no, 20 are yet to communicate. But the Nigerian Governors Forum said that that the governors are ready to play football to state police. The House of Representatives has given it, the Constitutional Review Committee has given it 2 years at the timeline. So very soon we'll have a public hearing. Me, I believe that there is a political will. If this political will is present for state police, we will have state police. If there is some political will, there will be no state police, there will be nothing. And like you said, political will is important. We are aware of new government autonomy, we are aware of House of Assembly autonomy, we are aware of state judiciary autonomy, but in terms of political will, they will be ineffective.
Now, just before I go to my... Please go on.
No, so political will. So if what the Nigerian governors are saying is anything to go by, if what the House of Representatives is saying is true, is anything to go by, then that means the police will see the light of the day, because there is the political will.
Now, just before I go to my next question, I made a positive statement as regarding the House members demanding billions, for SUVs. And you made a very laughable comment. You said if I expected them to walk, was that what you said?
No,
or
to go on bikes.
To go on bikes.
How sensitive is that statement? Understanding where, the president comes out to tell us the need to, tighten our belt and, work, understanding the system is not working right now. And then we have billions allocated for SUV. And then all you can say as a citizen, as a Nigerian,
how does it even benefit the economy?
Them to ride on bikes. How does it benefit the economy exactly?
You need the House of Representative members, you need the lawmakers to function effectively. See, I'm a very honest person. And state of it. I know the reality of a Nigerian politician, and the same reality is there from the reality of the Nigerian masses and the reality of the Nigerian civil servants. The Nigerian law, the House of Assembly, the National Assembly members, they do a difficult job that requires some level of comfort. For them to work, yes.
You tend. I think you should be careful as to the use of words.
No, for them to work effectively, you want them to do their job. We talked about police. I told you that they should pay them well.
But you said in one of your statement that it does not really mean the money they are paying them does not really matter. It's for them to defend their people. So the question is, the people you ask for comfort for, is it a call to service or it's a business?
We have people starving every day on the streets, and then you're talking about comfort. SUV comfort, not salary sort of comfort. SUV comfort. And yet you have people really walking on the street daily, starving, looking for where to get the next meal. And then they did a favor by, giving you the opportunity to, sit on that seat and then make policies. I'm listening.
With you.
I didn't get that.
Are you not the leaders? So they have made demands that this is what they need.
And SUV will have them make the law proper.
So if we give them what they want, and they fail to do what we like you said, and they fail to do the job we pay them for, then we take them out to get the election.
So giving them an SUV helps them do the job right.
Give them an official car that they demand. That
not just an official car, let's be precise.
Let's be precise.
SUV millions.
Wait, the House of Reps consists of PDP, APC, Labour Party, what are all of them? None of them rejected the SUV. The only person who said, rejected the SUV were the young lawmakers. who are privileged.
Maxwell, right now you're in the face of millions of
Maxwell.
Maxwell.
So people who feel, and let me tell you, not all the lawmakers accepted the SUV.
Maxwell, you're in the face of millions of Nigerians, and what you are telling them is your lawmakers deserve millions for SUVs.
For their comfort.
For comfort, so as to carry out policies and laws. That is what you are saying to the face of millions of Nigerians watching you right now.
The lawmakers deserve whatever they need to provide.
You usually said want. You used the word want to make policies. Now, do you mind emphasizing the need for SUV making policies?
Are you a lawmaker? I've been to the House of Representatives. So no, I'm not being there. So if that is what they need on their job, everybody has a right to demand what they need for their job.
All right. Maxwell.
The Nigerian workers came out to say they need 500,000 naira minimum wage to do their job. So be it.
All right, Maxwell, since you brought in, Maxwell, are you with me?
If you need a car to get to work early to effectively do your job, and you tell me what you need to do your job, I'm of the opinion that why not? If your employer can do
all right, Maxwell, I will want to understand the fact that it is what they need. Now, let's take it to the table of what every individual needs, what all Nigerians need, what every legislatures need, what every arms of government do need to carry out, every government parastatal, what they do need to carry out their job effectively. Now, it never took the government of the day up to 1 month to be able to sanction XUV for people in the house so that they will be able to carry out their job, as you said. Now, it's been almost a year for them to put together the policy that is going to help in the minimum wage with people that are supposed to do it right for a very long time. I'm very sure that government should be to be serving orders that are being able to put you there, but we've never seen this service. We have only been seeing, someone called it milking out Peter for Paul. This is the situation that we are faced in. I said, yes, we are optimistic as Nigerians. We love Nigeria. We want Nigerian projects to work, but we cannot run away from reality of what is happening as at this moment. To date, the minimum wage has not been revealed. These are supposed to be things that are going back to the public masses, that are going back to people that are working their hearts out every day, they are sweating every day to make Nigeria work in different parastatals. This has not been revealed. But you are telling us that the SUVs, in millions, that is not contributing back to the economy of the nation, is a need, is a necessity for them to carry out their job on a daily, while they are supposed to be there to serve. Please, can you just oppose what you have just said?
Just added to that, talking about the need to minimize even costs, so how does this actually affect all this?
Okay, so I expected you to have asked a question on so far so good. What has government done to reduce costs? That's what I expected you to do. Government has done funding service. Are you aware?
Are we talking about palliative around? Are we talking about the palliative? The government tend to...
Not palliative. I've not gone to what government has done to help the people. I'm not telling you how government cuts costs. Government has done overseas travel for federal workers and staff. Are you aware? Government recently has put up some of the presidential fleet up for sale. That is not necessary, that is too much. So the president of the federal government of Nigeria is selling part of business, and I'm explaining to you the issue of the vehicle is different. The vehicle is a different case. It's there from the law. Forget about the price.
It's coming from taxpayers' money. How is it a different case? But nonetheless,
no, I'm not telling you. No, what led to this is we talked about the president and cutting costs, and I'm telling you what the president has done to cut costs. Okay. And I'm even tell you what House of Representatives and the Senate has done to cut costs. You can get there. But telling me that when you tell me they don't deserve to have a vehicle, that's why I disagree. However, on the issue of minimum wage, there is a procedure.
Well, before you go for that, Maxwell, nobody used the word they don't deserve. We are only worried and concerned as to the level of sensitivity. As regarding our current situation, where we need to minimize costs, economic-wise, we are really, it's been challenging for Nigerians. So how important, what is the need for SUV?
In the scale of preference.
In the scale of preference, considering it. So nobody is saying they are undeserving. I mean, they could be deserving. It's an SUV. There's no big deal. But considering what we are facing as a country, is the major challenge. So nobody use that statement. They are not deserving.
So considering the challenges, that's why I asked you. So, any challenges that they don't deserve. So, in your opinion, they don't deserve SUV.
I just made the point clear. I just made the point clear. None of us here use the statement not deserve it. But nonetheless,
the House of Representatives, are integral in the democratic setting and the political and delivering the renewable agenda. So if the SUV is what they require to do their job effectively, let them have it. That is my opinion.
I applaud you.
That is my policy. That's the way I view life.
I applaud your opinion.
To do their job. If they fail to do the job, then they'll face my full work. That is how I operate.
Okay.
And I applaud you for that, and I hope some citizens then to share that sentiment with you. But just away from the SUV talks and discussion, residential states, estates, and communities have...
Yeah, we're talking about minimum wage. Let me quickly put up to that. There are procedures to... There are ways to go about minimum wage. There are ways to go about minimum wage. So there are communities involved. You have to... I don't think if you do minimum wage this year, you have to wait another time. You have to wait a specific period of time before again. So before you set up, they have met. I think the people have given them a figure. Government has given them their own figure. So we are optimistic. Maybe on workers, maybe the president will announce the new minimum wage. But I'm aware that they are sat on the minimum wage. And in the aspect of the minimum wage, government has given wage bonus of 35,000 naira to all workers.
Oh, come on now. Let's not even go there.
But they have.
Are you sure?
So that is what they have been doing.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% certain. And successive state governments have been topping up, giving 10,000 naira extra bonus.
How many state governments have been doing that?
All right,
Maxwell,
I guess if we are going to...
doing that.
Maxwell, are you with us?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we are going to continue on deliberating on what has been done and what has not been done. We are going to take the whole day. In as much as we want the Nigerian government, the present government to work, we want the Nigeria of our dream to be realized. Yes, we have to talk about reality, and that's what we have been doing. We want accountability, we want transparency. Now, talking about the state policing, we are really out of time, but I will ask you to give your last words to the government and to Nigerian citizens concerning state policing and how it can come out effectively and efficiently.
Well, concerning state policing, I think it's about time. But if we are ready for the government, they must be ready. Ready in the sense that funding should not be a challenge, and proper regulation is guaranteed the success of this thing, of state policing. Therefore, the community, I think they should cooperate with the government, cooperate with the people. The government is not the enemy. The leaders are not the enemy. They are also Nigerians. So they should cooperate with them. They should cooperate in the interim. Let's cooperate with security apparatus. If you see something, you say something. Very important. Security is everybody's business, not just police business. That's my personal word.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on the program. We really appreciate you sharing light to this discourse and also giving us your own take on different matters that we brought before you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All right, viewers, I am very sure you've heard it or you've seen how it is. State policing is a very vital discussion, and the security thing is the business of every individual. He said something that really interests me lastly. He said, if you hear something, say something. We start the security thing. We start out to mount security and make things work security-wise from our doorstep. Whatever it is that is going to help us to make Nigeria work as a nation, we should put everything together, all hands on deck. Let's be productive. Let's do things reasonably, and I'm very sure we will be where we are supposed to be positively. From us here, we'll be saying goodbye on Daybreak Africa for today. I remain Michael Obagiri.
You do have a great day ahead. I remain Ezekiel Ogar.